Hello and welcome to this episode of the Dave Laight podcast. This episode is about role models because role models have an important part to play, a massive part to play in our lives. They can serve to teach us, to show us the way, to inspire us, to motivate us and to lead us to our victories and to our successes in life. And therefore, role models can have a huge impact on the happiness that we can find and experience in our lives. And we can all benefit from role models in our lives, no matter who we are, no matter how old we are, or where we are in our lives right now. I looked in the Cambridge Dictionary and found a definition of a role model. It goes like this: a role model is a person that someone admires and whose behaviour they try to copy. But I believe that you can expand on this definition by saying that a role model, it is a person, but can be a team or a group of people or a business or, for that matter, a country that someone or a team or a group of people or a business or a country admires and whose behaviour they try to copy. To get the best out of any role model, it goes without saying, doesn't it? Choose a good one and then take the best from them and develop it. You don't have to copy them. You can, as I said, just take the best from them and use it. Use what they have shown to lead you to your success. But to imitate them, their habits, their thinking can take you to great places. And they do say, don't they, that the best form of flattery is imitation. And guess who the best imitators on the planet are? I'll tell you who they are. They are children. Because children can watch and copy very easily because they are not held back by an ego. They're not held back by a fear of failing or a fear of being embarrassed. And they instinctively just give it a go. And one of the other really, really powerful things that they use when they copy is that they use their imagination. They can see themselves as the person that they want to imitate, and then they go off and play. They play at being them. And that's what you have to do. You've got to play at it because, after all, never forget that life is just a game. So if you want to get somewhere in your life, and you have a chosen role model, just use the best of what they have. Do this without ego, without fear of embarrassment, without fear of failing, and adopt the mind, adopt the outlook of a child, and free up and use that great imagination that you've got. Although I've said make sure that you choose your role model wisely, you can also learn a lot. You can really learn a lot from bad role models by not doing the things that they have chosen to do, or by not going down the roads that they have chosen to go down. And it doesn't matter whether the role model that you choose is dead or alive. It just doesn't matter, because either way they can still be great teachers. Now, here is some really big advice. Take this in, listen to this and take it in. It is very easy to make the wrong choice of a role model, and it is very easy to make the mistake of taking the wrong path in life, which can lead you to great unhappiness. But even if you do take the wrong path and you go down the wrong direction, or you go in the wrong direction, you can, if you are self-aware and you realise your mistake, you can always change direction just by choosing to take another path. And you can also be fooled in making a poor decision of who or what to base yourself on by various things that can just come along and blindside you from left of field. And this happened to me. As a young man making my way in the retail world, I came to work for someone who was widely regarded, really widely regarded as a top store manager. who ran a great store, had great standards, had great results. This person really was widely regarded as a successful person, and I looked up to this person. I could see the success and the regard that they were held in, and they were where I wanted to get to. So I used this person as a role model by basing how I operated on the example that they set. And here's the thing, this decision, the one that I made, was really an unconscious decision. All well and good, you might think, but I've got to say, looking back, there was a fatal flaw in my actions and in my choice, whether that choice was conscious or unconscious. And I only came to realise years later, with the benefit of experience that only hindsight can give you, the problem with the role model that I chose was that they were old school. The world was moving on, moving to a different, and I've got to say, a better way of operating. And I was learning from an outdated teacher. Some people, their ways never become outdated. But be careful, because some do, and the one I chose to follow did. Now, at this time, I was a young man wanting a career, wanting to get to where I decided was the top for me. I was a sports person. I played in many successful teams in a number of different sports. I had passion, enthusiasm, courage. I had a great work ethic. I had self-motivation, and I had aggression, and I ploughed all of this into my career and into imitating that role model that I had chosen to follow. And I was schooled in what I now, I was trained, schooled in what I now regard as the dark arts of fear, aggression and intimidation. And I pursued success. I pursued great standards and results with a hard-nosed, ruthless, uncompromising, I'm not listening to you, a swearing and an intimidating way. And I've got to say, on one level, I found great success. I got a great reputation within the company, I shot up the career ladder, and I got to where I wanted to get to. But, it's a big but, on another level, although I found success, I did not find fulfillment. I did not find happiness, and I do not think I found the respect, the loyalty from my workforce. And on another level, I took some of this attitude back into my home life. And my wife says, looking back, when I was suited and booted for work, she don't think she really liked the person that I became once I was suited and booted. And you know, they say, what you put out into life comes back at you tenfold, because it's called karma. And so it was with me. Karma acted on me and sent back to me all the shit that I had put out into life. It came back to me tenfold. And I could speak for hours about this. I could speak about the whys and the wherefore of it all, but that really is for future episodes. But for now, let me just say that life, the universe, or was it God, sent a correction to me in my life. It was very painful. It was a humiliating correction for me in my life, which I have to say led me to back up, to come back from the path that I had chosen to take. And it led me to choose another path. It's the path that I'm still on now, which has led me to my success and to true, I mean for real, for true inner and sustained happiness. And I believe it allows me to create happiness and well-being in the people that I now come into contact with on a daily basis. And it is the reason why I speak. Now here's some learning for you. If you take a bad turning and you make some big mistakes and you become a not nice person, it is possible to turn around and find salvation. Now there is a couple of things that I could have done for myself in those early days of my life that would have protected me from all of the shit that I experienced. And that was, and I share this with you, this is a great piece of advice, especially if you are young, but equally whatever age you are. Now, these things were to understand who I was and to understand what I stood for. And these things are called beliefs and values. Now, your belief and values really are, believe me, listen to this, your belief and values, they are the foundation on which you build your life. The stronger your belief and values, the greater the life that you can build for yourself and keep for yourself. Just think of a house. If you build it on poor foundations, you might be able to build it, to put it up, but it won't last long. It will fall down. But build it on strong foundations and it will stand forever. And so it is with your life. Young people, hear this. I was young once, and I used to go on many management courses where belief and values were discussed. And we were tasked with, on many of these courses, on setting our own belief and values. And at the time I thought to myself, well, what a load of bollocks this is. And so I never bought into them in any meaningful way. And as a result, the great life that I built for myself in terms of my career ended up in ruins. So don't let that happen to you. Believe this, your belief and your values define you. Without them, you are just like a rudderless ship, and we all know a rudderless ship will run aground eventually. Now, your belief and your values give you your direction. If I had had strong belief and values when I started out in retail, I would have, trust me, I would never have taken on board the negative traits of my chosen role model, and they would have given me protection from the unhappiness that I was to experience. So do not make my mistake. Define you, define your beliefs and your values, write them in stone on your soul. Remind yourself of them every day, and I mean every single day, and do not sell yourself off cheap by compromising on them. Don't sell yourself off cheap by compromising on them. This is huge. This is a massive learning lesson for you in life. And if you are an older person who's not living a great life at the moment, who is experiencing unhappiness, hear this, it is never too late to stand back, reassess yourself, or maybe assess yourself for the first time and make some changes in your life. You know, to make some real changes. If you do this, you will not regret it. Lastly, I just want to touch on the fact that not only do we need role models in our lives, but we are role models in our lives, good or bad. We are role models whether we want to be or not. And the most important role model in your life is you. You are your own role model. Think on this. Ask yourself, are you a great role model, or do you need to make some urgent changes in you? It's an important question because the happiness that you experience in your life could depend on it. And finally, never forget that all of us, no matter what station we hold in life, we are all role models to other people. We're role models to strangers in the street, to our friends, to our family, to our children, to our work colleagues, to our business, to our customers, to our suppliers, to the world. Remember, what you send out into life, you will get back. So always be a great role model. Your life and the lives of others depend on it. Now, thanks for listening. This has been Dave Laight on the Dave Laight Be Happy podcast. Please subscribe, share or like. Please do anything that will enable this podcast to reach other people. All that's left to say is see you in the next podcast. Please, can you make sure that you stay healthy, you stay safe, but above all, be happy. Because as we always say and as we finish with, if you ain't happy, what's the point?